Howdy neighbors, and welcome back to the Noya Mountain Music Teaching Channel. Today we're going to be looking at a real cool jam session tune called White Freightliner in the key of C. Alright, it's going to be an upper intermediate level arrangement with some good cool notey runs. We're going to get that old, what's it called? We like to call it the Dean Webb lick in there. It looks like this. Let's check out the chords just real quick. Y'all might know it already. So it's F, this is in the key of C, but it starts off on the 4 chord, which is F. F, 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 listen to them, and then goes back to C. 3, 4, 2 bars to C. It goes F, 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 back to C. Then it goes to G for 1 bar, and F for 1 bar, and C, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, and then it starts over. So 2 full bars to C at the end. All right, so here is our arrangement. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this might be pretty advanced. We're going to say it's an upper intermediate level, but it's probably like, fairly advanced. But it's going to follow the melody, so we want to start off strong with the melody, then we're going to have some boogie licks in there, and we're going to get to the infinity. We're going to do infinity ascending in G, and backwards infinity or descending in F, and then a little Monroe Style lick then. Followed by the sliding lick, and then a little chromatic thing to wrap it up back into the F again. All right, so let's start with the pickup notes. Okay, it's going to go by a little bit quicker than some of the more beginner note for note stuff that we've done. So it starts on the 5th fret of the D, open A, 2nd fret of the A. Those are all downstrokes. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Now that downbeat there is going to be the beginning of our F chord. The beginning of the form, it's going to be a little 51 double stop here. It's a full size 51. 3rd fret of the A with your middle finger. 1st fret of the E with your 1st finger. Okay, so we got those pickup notes. And 4, and 1, and a 2, and 3, and. So up to the and a 3 there, we got 1, and a 2, E. A little shuffle on the 51 double stop there. Down, down, up, down, up. Then we're going to pull our ring finger up to the 5th fret of the A. We're going to keep our 1st finger on the 1st fret of the E. So it's 1 and a 2 E, and that's going to be, oh, I'm going out on the highway, something like that. It's not exactly the vocal melody, but it's following the shape. I guess the vocal melody will be like, I'm going out on the highway. It's kind of cool to get that little upward note in there. People might sing this a lot of different ways. This is the way we're going to do it. 1 and a 2 E, and 3, and. So when you come back from that 5th fret of the A and 1st fret of the E, it's going to come back to the 51 double stop, 3 and 1 on the A and E. 1 and a 2 E, and 3, and. So 2 8th notes there, just downstrokes. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, down. They're going to slide into this 35 F double stop. Just going to slide with your ring finger up into the 7th fret of the D, and then with your 1st finger to the 3rd fret of the A. 1 and a 2 E, and 3, and 4 E, and. Alright, so you'll have down, up, down, and you slide into that 35 double stop, 7 and 3. But before we do, please like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that little bell there for the notifications. You'll get all the good stuff from Noya Mountain Music. Thank you. And please consider becoming a patron on patreon.com/Noya Mountain Music. 1 and a 2 E, and 3, and 4 E, and. The 2nd bar in F, 1 and a 2 E, and 3, and 4 E, and will be exactly the same. All right, so taking it from the top, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1 and a 2 E, and 3, and 4 E, and 1 and a 2 E, and 3, and 4 E, and. Now it's going to come back to the C chord, and this is what we're going to do. So this first bar is going to be a cool little pentatonic run starting from the 5th fret of the D. So note for note, it's going to be 5, 7 on the D string, cross into your downstroke on the 3rd fret of the A. 3, 5, 7, those are your first 5 notes. 5, 7, 3, 5. 5, 7. Then you're going to cross on the upstroke to the 3rd fret of the E. 3, 5, 3. So you'll ascend all the way to the 5th fret of the E. That's pentatonic, and then back to your 3rd fret of the E. All right, 1 E and a 2 E and a. And here we're going to do 3 E and a 4 E and. So reaching up with your little finger all the way to the 8th fret of the E, then coming back to the 3rd fret, 3 E. Then your middle finger on the 5th fret of the E, and then back to the 3rd fret. So 8, 3, 5, 3. And then we're going to come back down that pentatonic way on the A string. 7, 5, 3. That's our first bar. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. That last downstroke in that bar is going to be a long 8th note, a full-size 8th note, but it's a longer note compared to the 16th notes that go by quicker. And then we're going to play our good friend, the Dean Webb lick. You know? You can do it different ways. If you haven't checked out the Dean Webb lick video, check it out right here. You can do it this way. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. So when you cross to the A string, 7, 5, 7, 3. That's kind of the stock way to do it. So that's the kind of the stock way to do it. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. A version that I learned from a student is like this. All right, so it's kind of similar to the way we get down on the pentatonic thing. It's like the front half of the Dean Webb leg, and the back half of that pentatonic leg. So these 2 bars of C, this is kind of the boogie part where it's just, you know, the vocal melody just kind of holds the note, but we're going to play some more notey stuff to kind of fill it out, give it some color and texture. So starting from the beginning of this C bar, 1, 2, ready, go. All right, so taking it from the top, here we go. 1, 2, go. 1 and a 2 E and 3 and 4 E and 1 and a 2 E and 3 and 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and it goes back to the F chord. 1 and a 2 E and 3 and 4 E and 1 and a 2 E and 3 and 4 E and. So all that's going to be exactly the same as we did the first time. And then when it comes back to the C the second time, we're going to do this. First C bar is going to start out with a double stop 51, middle finger and first finger on 5 and 3 on the D and A string. So you can slide into that if you like. And you can have the of 1 E and be your open A. So it's going to come out of the F chord the last time. Right here. You can slide into that or not. Might be easier to not slide into it. All right, so hitting it dead on 5 and 3, 1 E and the of 1 is going to be your upstroke on the open A. So 1 E and then we're going to slide up into the 35 double stop for a C, 7th fret of the A, 3rd fret of the E. So it's going to go 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and on the 4th beat you go 4 E and. Okay, so 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and you can have that last stroke there, the downstroke, be a long 8th note. That'd be a good way to phrase it. And then back into your Dean Webb lick. Or take your choice there. Okay, so coming out of the F chord the second time. Excuse me. All right, so coming out of the F chords the second time, 1 and a 2 E and 3 and 4 E and a 1 and a 2 E and 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and 3 and 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and 3 and 4 E. All right, so now we're to the G chord. What we're going to do through G is come up through your infinity pattern. If you haven't learned that, you can check it out here. It's going to sound like this. Okay, so I'll just call out the frets to you real quick. The trick to the infinity pattern, of course, is moving on the upstroke. So it's going to be 4th fret of the G. That's a single downstroke. Up and a down on the 7th fret of the G. Up, down, up and a down on the 5th fret of the D. Up, down. That's your first finger. Up and a down with your ring finger on the 9th fret of the D. Up, down. Up and a down on the 5th fret of the A with your first finger. Up, down. Then you can either use your ring finger or your little finger on the 10th fret of the A. Up, down. Let's just say we're using our little finger. And then middle finger on the 7th fret of the E. Up, down. And then the high note is the 10th fret of the E. Up, down. A little high for you to sing. But that's it. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. So the of 4, you're going to pull your little finger back down to the 8th fret of E and do that same pattern, just 2 frets lower, chromatically 1 whole step lower, starting on the 8th fret of the E, coming back down through F. So it's going to be the downstroke after your last upstroke of the previous bar in G, where we pull down with an upstroke on the little finger on the 8th fret. You're going to start with the 8th fret downstroke, 1 single downstroke, and the rest of this F chord coming down through infinity is going to be, again, an upstroke and a downstroke on each fret after that. So you got 8, 5, 5, 8, 8 on the A, 3, 3, 7, 7 on the D, 3, 3, 5, 5 on the G, 2nd fret of the G, and then you can have the last upstroke be the open G, and that'll tie us around. Okay, so this F part, that's from its downstroke. Remember, we're going to be having 1 upstroke before that F bar starts coming out of the G to tie it all together. So from the G, I know this is a lot, but this is advanced mandolin. It's pretty cool. This guy's more, it's advanced, yeah. 1, 2, going slow. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay. So if that's tough and challenging, you can stop the video and work it out as much as you need to before moving on. Just make sure you got that. It might be the toughest part of the whole arrangement for you. All good. Remember, you can use the open G upstroke as your last 16th note in that F bar. Okay, so let's go ahead and take it from the top, the whole thing, kind of going slow. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and a 2 E, and 3, and 4 E, and 1, and a 2 E, and 3, and 4 E, and 1 E, and a 2 E, and a 3 E, and a 4 E, and 1 E, and a 2 E, and 3 E, and a 4 E, and 1, and a 2 E, and 3, and 4 E, and 1, and a 2 E, and 3, and 4 E, and 1 E, and a 2 E, and a 3 E, and a 4 E, and 1 E, and a 2 E, and a 3 E, and a 4 E, and 1 E, and a 2 E, and a 3 E, and a 4 E, and 1 E, and a 2 E, and a 3 E, and a 4 E, and that's where we left off. Starting here, it's going to sound like this. Okay, just kind of getting into some Monroe slidey stuff. This particular lick is going to start on the 5th fret of the G with 3 16th notes, down, up, down. You cross on your upstroke to the 1st fret of the D, and you're going to slide that up and play the downstroke on the 2nd fret. So it's going to be 1 E and a 2. After the downstroke on the 2nd fret, you're going to come back to the upstroke on the 5th fret of the D, play the upstroke, and then the downstroke, same note. All right, it's going to sound like this. 1 E and a 2 E, and after that, you're going to come back and do that same thing, sliding from 1 to 2 on the D string 2 more times. So this whole part sounds like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E, and you can have that be a long 8th note. And start your slidey lick. If you haven't learned that one, it's right up here. We won't explain it. Just go ahead and assume that you know it. It's going to start on the 5th fret of the D. That's going to be your stock slidey lick. So this whole business in G is going to sound like this. Now, instead of ending the slidey lick on the downstroke like we usually do in the stock way, you can slide this ring finger down a little bit and get into a chromatic situation to set you up for the beginning of the form, which is going to be starting at F. All right, so you can go for your slidey lick. guess you're not really sliding, you're using your middle finger on the 4th fret of the G, sliding that down to the 3rd fret, and then catching your first finger on the 2nd fret of the G. 5, 4, 3, 2, and that's going to be the beginning of the form with your F again. All right, so starting from the infinity, ascending in G. That is the whole thing, neighbors. Let's play it slowly together. 1, 2, 3. That's the whole thing. So let's go one more time, a little bit more quickly. And when you get going more quickly, you can start to kind of gloss some of the phrases together, adding more upstrokes where you like it. You know, you just keep that right hand going a little bit more, running and gunning, or running and funning like that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go even faster. 1, 2, 3. All right, so there you have it, neighbors. A nice, at least upper intermediate level version of the white Freightliner, probably more advanced actually. So if you like this video, please smash the old like button there. Subscribe to the channel if you want some more of these videos. Try to do one every Monday. And if you'd like to support the work we're doing here, we would encourage you to go to patreon.com/Noya Mountain Music. You can check out all the different tiers there, going from $3 a month up to $99 a month. There's, you know, the licks of the month. There are note-for-note videos that are rewards for the different tiers. A lot of my digital music is available there. And also in the family tree tier, there is the monthly Noya Mountain Music Workshop that you can check out. It's free to the folks in that tier. It's a $50 value, so you can check that out if you want to. And many, many big thanks to all the folks who have been supporting us on Patreon. We get excited when every new little notification comes in, and we want to do our best for you to continue to put out good content here on the YouTube channel. Hope you're having a beautiful day, and we will catch you next time. Adios, neighbors.